So to enable these additional BE alarm codes, BE0, BE4, BE5, and BE7, these are done in the programming of the drive. Basically, what we're going to do is go into the parameters. And we're going to go to the group H, multifunction digital inputs. That's the H01 group. I'm going to open it up. And I'm going to select the terminal for this to occur. That value is 58. This drive is already programmed for this. But if I pick a multifunction input terminal, put in the value of 58, it will be identified as break 1 answer back. Let me start over, show you how this works. I'm going to turn this function off, set the drive to an F, and back out. Okay. And go to the home screen again. So, drive's powered up. I want to enable these additional BE alarms that are based on a multifunction digital input known as an MFDI. I hit the menu key, go to parameters, open it up. It's in the group H's. Go to group H, open that up. I want digital inputs or the H01s. Open that up. And I'm going to look for a terminal. In this case, we'll pick terminal 5 that we showed you briefly before here. Okay, right now it's set to an F. And as we know, that means that terminal is disabled and available for programming. I'm going to open it up. And the value I'm going to look for in here in the code is a 58 or 58. Not to overshoot it. There it is. Break 1 answer back. Okay, I'm going to lock it in. And now we have that function enabled. Now, I'm going to describe the timing sequence for these additional BE alarm codes. The way the firmware is structured in a series VG plus drive, and we are in this case using a series 5, but it's the same in a series 4 in previous drive. At power up, if it indicates the holding brake is open. In other words, the input is present on the particular terminal, and in this case, it's terminal number 5. The drive will trip out on a BE7 code. So what I'm going to do is turn the drive off and let it discharge. I'm going to close the input on my device. I'm going to turn power on. And you notice right away the alarms light is on, and then once it goes through its complete power up, it drops out on a BE7. If the drive is in a BE7 condition, it will not run. This condition has to be cleared. So we're going to go to home, and I'm going to go to menu. We're going to go to the monitor function, and I'm going to show you that in fact this input is on, and we're going to use U0110. And sure enough, terminal 5 is active, which means that condition indicates the holding brake is released and the drive will not run. Again, using the monitor mode function keypad options here is probably the first place to go to troubleshoot things related to the multi-function inputs. Now I'm going to turn on my controlling device, turn this input off. Do you notice the drive is still locked in the condition? I'll back out. This has to be reset. So I'm at the drive keypad. I can reset it. All right. So the other thing that will happen is the drive will generate in the sequence of operation. If it looks like it's good with the BE7, looks like the brake is in fact closed, we'll give the drive a run command. But because now that input isn't present, the drive kicks out on a BE4 condition. And again, once it goes into a BE4 condition, the drive will not run until this is reset and the input itself status has been corrected. Now what's going on here is I'll go back to the home and we'll go into the menu and monitors and standard monitor, and we'll go to the U1s. And again, we'll go to U110. What does it say? It says that no input is present. We have to see at this point when the drive does BE4 detection, it has to see an input indicating that the brake is now open. Now, the BE4 detection is run at the same time as the BE1 alarm code detection. So the two basically happen as far as drive operation at the exact same time. Real quick explanation, BE1 says we're seeing too many encoder pulses, indicating the load could potentially be moving when the holding brake is released. So that indicates movement. BE4 indicates the holding brake has not released when it should have, based on the fact the drive wants to see an input. BE4 is based on a digital input into an MFDI terminal. The BE1 test in the drive is based on encoder signal input and the fact that the drive is seeing too many pulses. Okay, so I'm going to go back to the home. I'm going to hit reset and declare the fault. Based on functionality, after we give the drive a run command and it's running, if for some reason while it's running in its normal run sequence of operation, if the brake release command goes away, that digital input signal goes away, the drive goes into a BE0 condition initially. And BE0 says that for some reason we have lost the signal input into the MFDI from the brake answer back digital signal circuitry. Now, what will happen is when the drive goes into a BE0, it stops operation, and then, being a VG plus drive, it goes into a BE5 alarm, which is what is shown on the screen of this drive right now. Now, the drive is still in the run sequence. What's actually happening here is the drive is holding the load at 0 position. It is actually in a load float condition. Right? I can run the drive momentarily. It'll go into BE0 again, and then it goes back into BE5. So what I'm demonstrating here mimics what will happen is if the drive loses the brake answer back signal while in the standard run mode. The drive goes into a BE5 condition, and the drive will suspend the load. It is important, if one is in a BE5 condition, to not turn power off to the drive until the load is positioned in a safe location. You will get the option to bump the load down, which is what I'm doing here. It may take some time depending upon the elevation of the load, but one can, for a short period of time, bump the load down.